Happy Sunday, beautiful patrons. If you're paying attention to the weather, then you know that Texas and Louisiana is being inundated. As I was washing dishes this morning with the kitchen window open, I couldn't help but be drawn to the sound of the rain tipping and towing on the metal awning of our patio. And a thought occurred to me that this might be a really good place to speak to you from. This message is being delivered to you in a different way than usual, with the hopes that you can use it to relax whenever you need to. The sound of the rain, particularly bouncing off of tin, always takes me back to my childhood, to probably the age of 5 or 6 years old, when for a very brief time I would spend evenings at my great-grandparents' being babysitted by one of my cousins. And the particular memory that this sound brings forth is a memory where I'm laying on a single metal frame bed that was kept on the front porch for some strange reason. I don't know exactly why that it was out there, other than the house probably did not have any form of air conditioning, and being out on the screened-in porch was probably the coolest place to sleep on the hottest of summer nights. But I remember laying on that bed with my babysitter nearby as I was beginning to drift to sleep, listening to the rain, and even feeling the lightest bit of spray from the rain making its way through the screen to my face. And it truly is one of the most comforting memories that I possess. The thought that occurred to me while I was standing at the kitchen window doing dishes this morning, hearing a very similar sound, and even now that I'm on the patio feeling the mist from the rain, the thought that's in my mind is this: why did I feel so comfortable back then and not nearly as comfortable, safe, or secure today? At first it would seem as if the answer is obvious, and obvious for all of us in all of our lives. What responsibilities did I have as a child? Especially compared to the responsibilities that you and I carry now. But I don't think it was the responsibilities. And I don't think it was the lack of responsibilities that made me feel so safe at that time. If you know anything about my story, then you know that my childhood was definitely not free of stress and anxiety, even without adult responsibilities. But in that memory, and at that moment, I felt safe. And what occurs to me today is that one of the reasons I probably felt safe at that time is because there was someone looking over me. There was someone watching out for me, someone that I dearly trusted. And so I was able to cast my cares onto someone else, a different direction. Not quite as easy to do today. Whenever the storms of life begin to rage, it's very easy to feel overwhelmed, because we know that by and large, success and even survival rest solely, squarely independently on our shoulders. That's just the way our culture works today. But I have found an encouraging realization in just the last couple of years. Whenever you think back to the days, particularly the days when you were maybe casting your cares in a different direction because you believed in something greater than you that was taking care of you. But now you look back at those days and you realize that the only person who was actually taking care of you was you. Of course, you may have had support from loved ones and support from within a community. But those days that you were feeling overwhelmed and you went into your closet of meditation, followed through with whatever formula that you believed in at the time, and walked out of that closet of meditation feeling as if your burden had been lifted because it had been placed in someone else's care. We now know that you still carried that responsibility out of the closet with you. And so the strength that you feel as if you received was actually your own strength that at the time you wasn't aware of possessing. The wisdom that you thought you received was actually your own wisdom, garnered from all of your past experiences, processed through the forge of pressure and desperation, cast by the die of example and insight, and then wielded as a weapon to blaze a trail forward, to cut through the thick jungle of the unknown. That strength, that wisdom, that insight, that all belonged to you and still belongs to you today. There was no outside intervention. So as the storms of our lives intensify, we can look back at our previous victories. We can look back at previous quote-unquote disasters, natural or unnatural, and see that we survived them. And that can give us hope. That can give us confidence that we will survive this one as well. Granted, there can be a storm that can overtake us. We all will one day face the last storm, the last battle of death. And from one perspective, it will appear that we will lose. But even in that moment, we are able, like the millions and millions and millions of people before us, to face that inevitable, overwhelming storm and say to our own selves, to our own emotions, to our own fears, peace, be still. Not only is all of this possible, all of this is happening right now. Even this very day, You bear the scars of survival. You have overcome adversity. You have been stronger than you ever imagined that you could be. You have produced wisdom far beyond your years because you have taken your experiences. You have used your ability to reason. You've exercised your ability to learn. And you have survived. So as it rains in our world today, as it surely will again and again through this pleasurable gift called life, I ask you to simply acknowledge the power that you internally possess. The power to still your own storm. The power to be